12 Mercer, even though it's going to be at 1 o'clock, so it's the most difficult game for fans because they don't matter.
You're being punished, Ole Miss fans.
Number 11, Louisiana Monroe. That is the week before the Egg Bowl at home. Number 10, Georgia Tech I have ahead of Tulane. It's at home. Now,
that's fair.
We'll see. Anyway, number 9, I do have at Tulane. Easier than Vanderbilt. I guess I'm a homer. I really like Clark Lee, but that Vanderbilt team won a couple of SEC games a year ago, and they portaled well, and they returned a bunch of guys, including their quarterback. I like Vanderbilt. I think that is going to be ultimately a more difficult test for Ole Miss than Tulane because of what Tulane lost. I know it's in New Orleans, but are we really going to pretend that that's going to be a difficult place to go play when over half the stadium's going to be wearing red and it seats 30,000 people? I don't know. I don't buy that. I don't buy that game in the same way others do. And I think Vanderbilt's actually going to be a bowl team this year, so maybe that's clouding my judgment.
Yeah.
7, 6, and 5 are where I'm really having a hard time. It's a combination of at Auburn, A&M at home, Arkansas at home, where I can't figure out where to put them. And I think Auburn's roster is not ready to win games in the SEC consistently. But you know that's going to be a big-time emotional game. You know it is, and it is at Jordan-Hare. A&M's got the talent. I don't believe in them yet the way Richard does. They've had the talent for years.
No, not at all.
I mean, I would like to see them beat Lane Kiffin first before I start talking about them in any different way. And then that Arkansas game's always been difficult for Ole Miss, but it is at home. And I'm not exactly a believer in Arkansas this year either. So that's a bunch of teams where I either don't think the roster's ready, I don't necessarily believe in them and they're at home, but one is difficult and emotional. I can't figure out where to rank those.
Well, you got to do it, so just say it.
Auburn 7, A&M 6, Arkansas 5.
Fine, totally acceptable. That's probably how I'd do it too. Ole Miss has kind of had A&M's number. Arkansas has had Ole Miss's number for the most few years, so it makes sense to rank them ahead.
Yeah. Egg Bowl number 4.
And as always in that game, take the over.
Yeah.
Egg Bowl number 4.
Egg Bowl number 4 on the road. That game's tight. It's just it's your rival at the end of the year.
I want to
on the road.
The question for the Egg Bowl for me this year is, did Arnett figure Kiffin out? Because if he does it again, if State has another defensive performance like they had last year, where they had 17 tackles for loss against that Ole Miss running game that dominated everybody else, I'm going to just sit there and have to tell you that Arnett's just got his number.
Yeah.
Something's going on there. So we'll see how that plays out. We got a long way to go.
Number 3, LSU at home, and then the last two are obvious. The road trips to Tuscaloosa and to Athens.
Georgia's number 1 for you, and then Alabama 2?
Alabama's 2, Georgia.
That's fair. Alabama, Ole Miss. This is why I'm not high on Ole Miss, is the schedule, man. I predicted Ole Miss to go 7-5 last year. They went 8-4. I missed the Kentucky game by an illegal shift penalty. And now you're going to swap out Kentucky for Georgia. I mean, I still think Ole Miss will lose to Alabama. They'll lose to LSU. They'll lose to Arkansas. They'll lose to State, I think. And then
just giving them a loss to Arkansas, I don't think is necessarily fair, especially at home.
I mean, right now as we sit here, I look at Arkansas and the way they manhandled Ole Miss last year, and they bring back a lot of that running attack. Yeah, I don't know how much Ole Miss is going to be improved defensively. I think they'll be better coached, but I don't know if talent-wise they're where they want to be.
We'll have to see. We'll find out pretty quick. I mean, it's at Alabama in week 4 for Ole Miss. So there
Ole
you
Miss
go.
week 4, State week 5 to play Alabama. Get Alabama out of the way. Just get it out of your system.
That's
don't have to dread it for the whole year.
That's not a bad idea.